10 investigates wheelchair ramps to nowhere. We have received several emails, email tips asking why the city of Columbus keeps installing wheelchair accessible ramps at locations where there are no sidewalks. 10 investigates. Kurt Ludlow is here to explain why this is happening.
Well, this is interesting, Kristen. Yeah, some of these viewers have written to 10 Investigates pointing out the city is installing wheelchair ramps where there are no sidewalks. Well, as it turns out, the city has no choice.
The corner of Dresden and Weldon on the northeast side of Columbus is a construction zone. Crews are in the midst of a street resurfacing project. When it's done, you'll see a new asphalt road, some new sidewalks, and wheelchair ramps. But as neighbors watched the work, they noticed several of those wheelchair ramps aren't connected to sidewalks, nor will they be. They're just there. Viewers asked us why the ramps to nowhere. The answer, according to the city, is that's the way it's supposed to be, just as the Americans with Disabilities Act requires.
As someone who's in a wheelchair, when they make the transition from the pavement to the wheelchair ramp or the wheelchair ramp to the pavement, it's nice and smooth. It's not a bumpy ride for them. They are not in danger of falling over. So they're safe as they're rolling up that ramp or rolling down the ramp onto the new pavement.
Rick Tilton says the ramps are required even when they don't lead to sidewalks. At Smoky Row in Billingsley, for example, in northwest Columbus, outside the 270 loop, Tilton says the ramps will allow someone in a wheelchair to safely and smoothly reach the signal push button to trigger the crosswalk light. As you can see, it's just a pad surrounded by grass.
It's easy to take it for granted when you're mobile and you don't have to depend on a wheelchair. Maybe you don't have to depend on braces. Put yourself in their place.
At approximately $2,800 apiece, some taxpayers are critical. But Tilton says it's all about safety.
We want to make it easy for them. We want to make it safe for them. It's just like any other pedestrian. We want pedestrians, whether they're walking or whether they're in wheelchairs, whether they have other mobility issues, we want to make sure they're safe.
Now, these ramps are required everywhere, so even if you don't live in Columbus, your city is required to install them, and cities that don't follow those federal regulations could be subject to lawsuits. For 10 Investigates, I'm Kurt Ludlow.